Hi, my name is Andrei Stars, author of Can Love Be for Life book and co-founder of the Marriage Improvement Tools, creators of the Relationship Health Score 1.0. You probably noticed from my thick accent I'm not from here. I'm actually from Alabama. I'm kidding. I am originally from Ukraine. I've been here for 25 years and traveled widely throughout America as professional entertainer. But when I moved to Branson, I decided to try to improve my English to blend in better. Now I can say y'all, come back here, reckon and fixin', and today I'm full-fledged Ukrainian hillbilly. Marital problem around the world. Why is it that so many marriages cannot keep passion alive? Why are there so many single parents kids in school? Why are so many people so desperately looking for a soulmate and companion that dating sites are multi-billion-dollar business? Is there a special formula for a happy and passionate relationship? If there is, what are the magic ingredients for living happily ever after? India has only 1.1% divorce rate, but on the opposite end, almost the entire Western world has amazingly high numbers of marriage failures. And the United States tops the chart. It's a fact that in our nation roughly 55% of all marriages ends in divorce. So I guess Yoga and Kama Sutra is the answer for India's natives, but what for the 45% of American couples who do not divorce? How many of them are on the brink of separation, struggling through life's everyday challenges? How many of them are happy? And here is a real question. How many couples are happy and passionate about their relationship? Looking around me, I don't see very many. Unfortunately, many of my longtime friends have had huge challenges in their personal lives, and some of them have ended up getting divorced. So, what are the special elements that happy marriages has that the other don't have? Here is the opening phrase of Leo Tolstoy's famous novel Anna Karenina. Happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. I'm a certified relationship and divorce prevention coach. And during the past several years, I interviewed over 500 married couples to get at the root of what is happening with couples who are struggling with their marriages and love. What I discovered is that the problem isn't as simple as just falling out of love. I will share with you the secrets that will help your marriage survive and thrive, and no other marriage expert is talking about them. But why you should listen to me? Well, after interviewing hundreds of married couples, it became painfully obvious to me that our ideas, what we are conditioned to know and do about marriage and how to make marriage work, are all wrong. I'm not saying you and I don't have a few good ideas about marriage, but none of these ideas seems to be working by getting at the root of what makes love last. And I'm not talking about puppy love or infatuations. I mean real, divorce-proof love, the kind that all married people dream about. Let me tell you my story to give you some perspective. My wife and I are professional stage actors and acrobats. We came from Russia 20 years ago as performers and acrobats, and over 9 million people had witnessed our performances in such iconic places as Radio City Music Hall in New York City, Caesar Palace and the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas, and sold out arenas in 20 countries in America, including the United States Arena in Chicago, Theater Tenda Striscia in Rome, Italy, and many other cool places. Sounds pretty glamorous, right? In fact, my wife Marina and I just came back from celebrating our 30th anniversary in the warm tropical water resort of Cancun, Mexico. We had it all. Scuba diving in warm tropical ocean, tasting the cuisine, dancing under the stars, romantic strolls by the beach, and passionate intimacy. Life is beautiful. But the reason I tell you this is because divorce rates among professional actors is among the highest in the world. It's about an 80% divorce rate. The fact is that our marriage has had all the same problems and challenges that have confronted every marriage, but we had it worse when you really think about it. Our mutual journey has been far from a Disney's fairy tale. We were married so young, and then a year later we had a baby, and neither of us were ready for it emotionally or financially. Then we left our home country for a better life in America without any money, and we struggled for years adjusting to the new country, different culture, raising a child without any support from family. That challenge strained our relationship, and more than a few times it was very rocky and unstable. And then an empty nest and a middle life crisis hit. But that's another story. But besides all of that, we were and we still madly in love. Our love story is the basis for the award-winning theatrical performance Yakov's Mascot Circus Adventure in Branson, Missouri, and for the book Can Love Be for Life? 5 Essential Steps for Keeping Passion in Your Marriage, which is helping and inspiring hundreds of people to keep their marriages happily intact. Here how it all started. On a beautiful sunny morning after celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary, we were sitting on a restaurant balcony at one of the most lovely places in America, Big Cedar Lodge Resort, having breakfast and looking out over a breathtaking view of a Table Rock Lake. The breeze from the water cooled the summer afternoon heat and made the tree leaves whisper a love song perfect for the moment. I couldn't take my eyes off my gorgeous wife Marina, and I asked myself, how can I be so blessed to have such a beautiful woman and amazing person by my side for so many years? What can I do for her after she has stayed with me through all the challenges we have endured? That evening in our cabin, I made a nice fire in our fireplace, and we enjoyed sitting there, feeling its warmth, looking into its bright colors, and listening to its sound. A relationship is like a fire. You need a spark to start it. That spark could be a glance, a gesture, a smell, or clever pickup line. But to create a blaze, you need a good source of energy. If magic happens and you are in love, sooner or later you will need to add more and more fuel to maintain the fire of passion. The excitement of new relationship will give you a good start, but without the firewood of commitment, friendship, responsibility, intimacy and connection, it will not last long. Much work and patience are required, but the result is rewarding, a long, lasting, happy and passionate relationship. Media and many marriage professionals have suggested that the first stages of romantic love, a roller coaster ride of mood swings and obsessions that psychologists call limerancy, starts to fade within 15 months. And after 10 years, the chemical tide has ebbed away. In the plain English, it means that after 2 to 5 years in relationship, there is no way you can have the same passion you did as a newlyweds. But I would tell them, it's not true. It's baloney, claptrap, rubbish, bunkum, or just plain BS. I have 3 strong reasons to proclaim this. Number 1, my wife and I are blessed to still have a passionate marriage. Number 2, I know about dozen couples just like us. And number 3, the coolest thing is that recently scientists have discovered that passionate love can last. Stony Brook University in New York scanned the brains of couples who had been together for 20 years and compared them with those of new lovers. They found that about 1 in 10 of the mature couples exhibited the same chemical reactions when shown photographs of their loved ones as people commonly do in the early stages of relationship. And you might be wondering, what kind of photographs? Let me assure you that they were fully dressed. Brain scans have proven that a small number of couples can respond with as much passion after 20 years as most people exhibit only in the first flash of love, enabling them to enjoy what the new report calls intensive companionship and sexual loveliness. These findings overturn the conventional view that love and sexual desire peak at the start of the relationship and then decline as the years pass. This gives great hope to all couples. All of us can have wonderful relationship. The honeymoon stage doesn't have to end. No more lame excuses like, sorry honey, it's been 10 months since our wedding, so our romance hormones time's up. Very often people asking us, what are the special elements our marriage has that the others don't have? For more than 3 decades, my wife and I have presently worked and still work to protect the fire of passion in our marriage. Here is what we did. In step 1, we laid a strong, rock-solid foundation in the form of commitment to each other. Then in steps 2 through 4, we built 3 solid walls: compassionate spouse, best friend, and passionate lover. This foundation and those walls formed a strong structure that has withstood every storm, a love pyramid. And finally, step 5, which is the most important step of them all, has been performed throughout all the construction of our love pyramid and is repeated over and over and over again. It's called connection. Without connection, we cannot build a relationship or even commit to it. Connection holds everything together, just as strong cement holds together the walls of an ancient pyramid. Like the Giza pyramid in Egypt, which has stood for more than 11,000 years, so our love pyramid can also survive all the forces of stress and weather if we continue to take care of all 5 steps. Marina and I created this program that will help you in 3 days improve your relationship with simple, practical exercises. So let's start. From our personal experience, and after interviewing hundreds of couples, I truly believe that to have a blissful marriage, couples must build a timeless love pyramid comprised of 3 walls: spouse, lover, and friend. A happy and passionate relationship is the result of the combined walls of spouse, lover, and friend. This is the ultimate level of union, a wonderful achievement for a couple and must have if both couples want to enjoy their marriage for their entire lives. This is what we read about in the fairy tale books, and they lived happily ever after. Although each wall of the timeless love pyramid, spouse, lover, and friends, relies on trust, compassion, respect, etc., I believe that few characteristics belong specifically to certain walls. For instance, spouses are required to share domestic and financial responsibilities. For lovers, it's very important to have an attractive appearance and fulfill each other's desires for sexual intimacy. But that's not necessary for a good friend. And friends, of course, would spend a lot of meaningful and fun time together, but probably scrubbing toilets wouldn't be their chosen activity. The point is, each wall is individual and unique, and together they can be combined to create a wonderful and indestructible, timeless love pyramid. If you can find someone who is a great spouse, who keeps financial and domestic things organized, as well as passionate lover who fulfills your need for intimacy, and who is also a great friend with whom you can safely share all of your worries and glories without fear of being judged, you have made it. And I believe that you can have it all in your marriage. In order to achieve that, we should work on the completion of each individual wall simultaneously until we complete our whole love pyramid. Unfortunately, most families only experience this for a short time, usually only during the honeymoon phase of their married life. But what if the honeymoon is over and one of your walls has stopped going up or has started to collapse? When one wall is missing, you have only the spouse and the lover, or the spouse and a friend, or the lover and a friend. Those relationships are usually a happy alliance between people, but it's still missing a very important, crucial part. They could still become passionate relationships again if the couple would work on the missing part. And there is a good chance that relationships like this will become vulnerable, because the husband or wife will look outside of the marriage for the missing part. Here is the old Japanese wisdom. It is not enough to be the husband and the wife. It is needed to become friends and lovers so you don't look for them on the side. Eventually they might start looking for a friend or a spouse, or most frighteningly, a lover, in someone else to fulfill their needs for those missing components. When only part is present, spouse or love or a friend, the relationship is on the verge of breaking up. You need to work on it ASAP. When no parts are present, the union is dead. The couple is just a pair of roommates under the same roof. It's very important to figure out where your relationship is. Find out which part is missing, work on it, and the rewards will be more than satisfying. You will be not alone on this great journey called life, and nothing will be able to stop you from enjoying it, because through the best and the worst, through the difficult and the easy, whatever may come, she, he will always be there. And like those Egyptian pyramids, your relationship will withstand all the storms and seasons for many, many years. You might say, yes, Andrei, good for you, it's a cool concept, but what can we do right now to immediately improve our relationship? You guys in luck, because here comes the exciting part of our training, what to do and how to start. So here are the 5 steps. Commitment, compassionate spouse, best friend, passionate lover, and connection. What to begin with? As I mentioned before, the most important step of all is the connection. Without connection, we cannot build relationship or even commit to it. Many professionals agree that communication is the key to a successful relationship, but I would like to add my own 2 cents to this. People can successfully communicate only if they are connected. I think we tend to forget about the simple yet crucial component, connection. Very often couples are talking but not being able to hear each other at times for years. But when couples can hear each other, they are creating a rapport that leads to a close and harmonious relationship in which they understand each other's feelings or ideas and communicate well. The word rapport stems from the French verb rapporter, which literally means to carry something back, and in the sense of how people relate to each other. It means that what one person sends out, the other sends back. When 2 people are having great rapport and experiencing a deep connection, they are defined as being on the same wavelength. And there may be scientific truths to this. Laura Kolgin, a researcher at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, says, we found that there are slow gamma waves and fast gamma waves coming from different brain areas, just like radio stations transmit on different frequencies. You know how when you feel like you really connect with someone, you say you are on the same wavelength. When brain cells want to connect with each other, they synchronize their activity. The cells literally tune into each other's wavelength. What we found could be described as a radio-like system inside brain. What action must we take to make sure that we have loving rapport with each other and can therefore be on the same wavelength during every day of our very busy lives? Everyday challenges and routines of life were causing our emotional and physical connections to fade. We assumed those connections were still strong because we were spending so much time together running our household or fulfilling our obligations. But sometimes there is truly not a deep connection to what is important to each other. We may be simply going through the motions and checking tasks of our list without really connecting. Science has proven that similarity and common interests are key components of attraction between 2 people. Similarities in opinions, interactive styles, level and amount of communication skills, demographics, and values have all been shown in experiments to increase likings. Sharing my life with Marina has automatically created many similarities. We have not only shared a house, a child, a business, etc., but through the years we have grown more and more alike in our interests, our shared dreams and our goals, which have all deepened the likeness between us. In our conversations, we purposely discuss related matters, and this helps keep us connected. Marina and I have a lot of commonalities. but we also take the time to go the extra mile in creating those with each other. We do this by showing an interest in what the other one is passionate about. I love watching basketball. Marina doesn't. However, she takes the time to learn which teams I'm interested in and who is playing when, so that she can ask questions that will ignite my enthusiasm. She doesn't have to know much about basketball or even watch the game with me, but by wearing my team's jersey on a game day, she creates a common link between the two of us, and that creates an immediate connection with me. Or maybe it's just she looks so cute in that jersey. At the same time, I'm always in ears to her worries and needs. Well, Marina would say not always, but I'm do as best as I can. Ask yourself, what are likeness and similarity? What can we do to connect more through common interests? And then pause the recording and write down the answers on these questions, please. Having answers to these questions create clarity and much needed connection. Also, the best and fastest way for me to connect to Marina is emotional tuning. It requires some practice and effort to master the ability to have a conversation that will evoke immediate positive emotions and pleasant physical contacts, touch, holding hands, hugs, cuddling, etc. Here's the example. If I come home from the work excited and happy about something that happened during my day, but notice that there's something wrong with Marina, I must first explore her emotional state and find out what she is sad or upset about. By tuning to her emotional state and showing compassion for her feelings first, I'm able to make her feel better. And I can then share my cheerful update and eventually elevate her emotionally. However, if I barge into the room, happily blurting out my news, she might not be able to celebrate with me because we would literally be on different channels. My channel was happy, hers was sad. Also, by touching Marina, I can tell instantly, even if my eyes are closed, that she is stressed. I can sense that through her muscle tension. We have a daily ritual of at least 6 hugs a day. So after holding our hug for about 30 seconds, I can feel how her tight muscles have begun to relax. When she starts leaning on me, I know that she feels better. There are also some of everyday ways we connect in order to recharge the passion in our relationship. When we are on vacation and away from our daily rut, those habits give us a big boost of passion recharge. Ask yourself, am I aware of my spouse's emotional state? When was the last time we connected through a hug or a kiss? How can we create more opportunities to connect through touch? Then pause the recording and write down the answers on these questions, please. 2 of the most complaints in modern families involve not having enough time for each other and dealing with the enormous financial stresses of life. When we notice this creeping into our relationship, the first thing we do is to change the environment. We go on a date to a place that will switch our mental state, or better yet, we get away for a weekend every once in a while. Connection in relationship is such a wonderful thing, and it's also a vital part of the process of building timeless love pyramid. Without it, we cannot never lay solid foundation of commitment upon which to build our pyramid. Without connection, our spouse, lover, or friend wall cannot be built and will not stand. Connection is the mortar that holds our entire life pyramid together. You might ask, Andrei, give us something that we can immediately connect to each other. We always recommend the 6 hugs a day exercise. Here is benefits of hugging. After years of experiments, scientists have concluded that the only physical touch between humans, especially loved ones, can facilitate the most potent secretion of oxytocin. Oxytocin is one of the most powerful neurotransmitters in our brain. It's quite unique chemical compound that can only be found in mammals and requires specific stimulating techniques in order to be released naturally. One of those incredibly simple techniques is hugging. It has been proven that hugging for up to 20 seconds can create such an emotional cocktail in two people that a strong bonding might emerge instantaneously. The logical explanation of this phenomenon is that a person with high level oxytocin in their system is more likely to be a lot happier, hence contaminate you with the positive emotions through hugging, and therefore make you happier and earn your trust. Last but not least, scientists suggest that you need to experience at least 6 hugs a day in order to feel happier and more content with life. And it's not that easy. At first, Marina and I were missing those daily hugs greatly until we put a hugometer on our refrigerator. It's a fancy word for a pen and piece of paper. So please do yourself a big favor, start to get connection with hugging today. We would like to share one of our examples of how physical touch helped us to stay connected on stage and in life. Here is a video of our award-winning acrobatic Adagio act. Enjoy. This is the end of part 1 of our program. Thank you for listening to me, and let's connect soon.